So you should be on the page in your notebook that was to and from cells, and you need to cut out all those tiles individually and then sort them like I have on my page. So look at your work plan. Each page changes every year. So look on your work plan to see where the to and from cells page is, and then go find those tiles and cut them out. And then I would arrange them into rectangles, squares, and circles. And then use the blank page that I tell you on the work plan. And we're going to arrange these tiles to represent aerobic cellular respiration. So pause the video and do that. All right, I'm going to assume you've arranged your tiles and you have them in their shapes. And our learning target, as I said, is we're going to summarize the process that provides food and oxygen to the cells and eliminates waste products for the aerobic cellular respiration process. So now we need to arrange our tiles to model this aerobic cellular respiration process. And we're going to draw arrows between the tiles where we think is necessary and add notes where we think is necessary as well. So my suggestion is I would place the 3 location tiles, the long rectangles, kind of in order from top to bottom. So we're trying to get to and from cells, and things are going to be happening at the cells. So pause the video and see if you can get the 3 rectangles in order, top to bottom, for how we're going to get the oxygen and the food to and from cells. All right, so what it should look like is you're coming to the cells, and you're going to leave the cells, right, in the end, but kind of in between, some things are happening at the cells. So I'm going to kind of move these up because I need to save some space. So this is kind of your order. Things are coming to the cells, things happen at the cells, and then there's something from the cells. So what is coming to the cells and where are they coming from? So let's think about the systems first. What systems are happening? So if you think about the systems, we have a digestive system, and we have the respiratory system. Why? Well, let's think about how food. If we work through food first, we want to deliver food to the cells. So we bring food to the cells, right? But how do we do that? So the food gets delivered through what system? So I want you to pause the video, see if you can figure that out. Well, hopefully you figured out. You have your digestive system first. You eat the food, but then it goes in the circulatory system, right? I'm going to move this down a little bit so we can kind of get in between. Hopefully we'll have enough room. Okay? And then the food will get to the cells. But before anything can happen at the cells, you need the oxygen to get to the cells. But how do they get to the cells? Well, what system would it go through? Well, it has to go through the respiratory system, then to the circulatory system. So here's where you're going to want to draw some arrows. You can kind of figure out how you want to do it. But if we're talking about the food, it's going to go to the digestive system, to the circulatory system, and then I would just start drawing some more arrows. Then you're going to have an arrow where? Well, from the circulatory system, the food will go, whoops, I don't think I'm doing this right. The system, sorry. Then the food will go to the cells from circulatory. Well, let's think about oxygen. Let's draw our arrows for that. It's going to go from the respiratory system. The oxygen is going to go to the circulatory system through the blood. And then from the circulatory system, the oxygen will get delivered to the cells. So if you need to make some notes there, you can make yourself some notes about how the food is entering through the body, maybe through the mouth or whatever. You might want to talk more about what's happening here and some notes in the margins. And then how's the oxygen physically getting in through the respiratory system, like what organs and whatnot. And then how does it get into that circulatory system? You might want to add yourself some notes just to make sure you're understanding what's happening. And so now your oxygen's in your cells. So then from the cells, so we're at the cell, but then once it's there, what is happening in the cell? Okay? So at the cell, what happens? Well, you have aerobic cellular respiration. And as a result of that, what do we want to keep in the cell? Well, we want to keep our energy. We want that to stay. Remember, we want to keep that in our cell. And then what ends up leaving the cell? Well, what ends up leaving is our water, right? And also our carbon dioxide. Those are our waste products. We don't need them. We really just wanted the energy, but that because of the chemical reaction, we get that. And now, what does it do? It's got to get from the cells. It's got to get out. So let's talk about the water first. So how's it going to get out? Well, anything from the cell has to go through the blood. And then from the blood, because it's water, it's probably going to go out your excretory system. Remember, you're going to urinate. You might want to add some notes about how it exits through the body. You're going to urinate maybe through your bladder or whatnot. Let's talk about carbon dioxide. Obviously, the carbon dioxide molecules are going to go through the circulatory system out the blood, and then you're going to breathe it out. So it's going to go back out to those alveoli. You're going to go back in those bronchial tubes, out your lungs, and out your mouth through the respiratory system. So you're going to want to add your arrows in your notes for everything we talked about there. And again, we're going to talk about how the water goes to the circulatory system. The circular system, remember, is just like a big transport system. And then it's going to go out through the bladder, through the excretory system, and then carbon dioxide also has to go through the circulatory system. And throughout the circulatory system will return it back to the respiratory system, through the lungs, and out the mouth. So you're going to want to make your own notes to make sense of all this, but this is what you should glue down now and or tape down or whatnot. And to make sure you understand that, here's a suggestion of some notes you could make. You don't have to have these. This is just some suggestions of notes, but you should have some notes just to make sure you understand this process.